Yo YouTube, ready for my next exciting video tutorial? For the background we are choosing a color gradient. The inner color should be white and the outside black. No, black is wrong. Let's see. Oh, it should also be white. Here we go. Then if you lower the opacity, you darken the outside a little bit. That looks fantastic. Okay, so the next step is the text. Choose a solid text and type in whatever you like. In my case it's Sam KK Deluxe. Okay, nothing special here. But what you're gonna do is you choose the wave effect. Set the horizontal waves to 32 and the horizontal amplitude to 0.008. No, that's too much. 3. That's great. As you see, the text looks a little bit wavy now. The next thing that we want to do is make the text look three-dimensional. To achieve this, we have to copy the text and then scale it down just a little bit. Alright, okay. Now it looks all black, so change the color of the copy text to something that is lighter than black. Maybe a dark blue, a dark red, whatever you like. Now that we have our wonderful 3D text, we can start modeling the surface of it. Go to Media Generator and choose the Gravel Noise Texture. Usually the compositing mode is set to alpha source, but you have to change it to screen. As you can see, the gravel noise texture is now blending into all the video layers that are below it, but we only want it to blend into the text, so there are several ways how we can do it. First, I want to complete the adjustments of the gravel texture. You can basically just play around with the settings, especially with minimum and maximum, but make sure that the final result looks like many small pieces are broken out of the text. As I mentioned earlier, we only want the gravel effect on the text and not on the background. So to make this wish become true, we have to make a mask in the gravel texture. Important is that the mask has the same size as the text. And voila! Here's our gravel text. But it still looks awfully boring. That's why we have to pimp it with some nice effects. Our first pimping effect is the light rays. Light rays? Here we go. Okay. Now we have some cool light shining through the gaps in the text. But don't make the light too strong, because we are going to use several other effects and you're going to mess it up if you make this effect too strong. The next effect is our favorite lens flare. And here again, don't make it shine too bright, because no later than the next effect you won't be able to read the text anymore. So make it a tiny lens flare like this, and depending on what color you chose for the background text, so the text behind the black text, you can also choose the same color for the lens flare. That looks quite nice actually. Now the next thing that we want to do is create a shadow underneath the text. First go back to Media Generator and then choose this a solid color. It should be a dark color because it's in shadow, obviously. Then go to the event panorama of the blue color and choose mask, because we don't want the whole background to be blue, just the part underneath the text. Alright. Just make a random mask like I did. Alright. And then you have to feather it so it looks quite smoother. Okay. Okay, then you just move the whole image until the shadow fits properly underneath the text. And as you see, the shadow doesn't really look realistic, so you can move the single mask points around. Okay, like this, to make it look like a real shadow. Alright, almost perfect. Good. Now you have a flat 2D shadow, and we want to change this, so go to the source and change it to 3D source, and then flip the whole image backwards. Cool. So that makes the shadow look even more realistic. Good. Now that we have a wonderful text and even more wonderful shadow, we also want to create a reflection. Oh, you might have the problem that part of the gravel are covering the shadow, so you can simply undo this by lining up the bottom of the mask with the bottom of the text. And you can also play around with the feather, but I do not recommend this. Alright, so now we want to put the reflection underneath the text. Make a copy of the background text and put it into a new video layer under the shadow. Next thing you need to do is change the composition mode to 3D source alpha and flip the whole image around, and then you have the text upside down. Yeah, also make sure that the reflection text is properly placed underneath the original text, otherwise it's going to look like a big pile of crap. Good. Now as well we have to make a mask, because we want the reflection to fade out at the end. When you make the mask, make sure that the top of the mask is just a little bit above the top of the text, because that's where we want to make it blend out. Then choose a feather and increase the percentage of the feather, and as you see, the text is fading out. Yeah! And then finally, you only have to lower the opacity of the whole text, just a little bit like this. Perfecto. So now I want to show you some cool other effects that you can put on the text. The first one is this TV simulator. Looks like this. It's quite nice. If you like it, you can put the effect on the text. No, you have to put it on the gravel texture. And the other one is the glow effect. So I use the glow to fade the text in and to fade the text out. So choose the glow effect, and the first keyframe at the beginning of the video should be very glowy, something like that. Then a little further, there should be no glow, same at the end. You have to set a new keyframe. You can do it by clicking on the plus button and erase it by clicking on the minus button. So and the last keyframe, which of course should be also very glowy. Good. What else? If you want some more live or movement in your video, you can, for example, just move the lens flare, go to the end and set a keyframe, and then move the lens flare wherever you want it to end. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching my video tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you soon, guys.